All right, let's get Mads. Mads, you want to get on there? Mads, do you want to get on?
Yes, sir. How you doing today, Tariq?
I'm good, Mads. So where you from, bro?
Originally, I'm from Sudan, living in the
Yeah,
States right now, though.
there you go. How long you been in the States?
Since 2002, basically grew up here.
There you go. All right, so what's on your mind?
My question is I want to know what the African American perspective is whenever you see, like, for example, my country right now is going through essentially a civil war that's being funded by the United Arab Emirates, but that's another topic for another day. My question is, how do African Americans view these wars that they see happening in other African countries? For example, Senegal is probably about to go through something because they're having issues with their elections. If you see what's happening in Congo, if you see what's happening in Sudan, I'm curious what the perspective is of, because I know you're an FBA, and I've
Right.
been reading up on that. I don't know too much about it. I don't want to sound ignorant or anything and say something wrong, but I just want to know what the African American perspective is when you see these civil wars happening. Because my country, for example, we're African. I don't identify as Arab. We were colonized by Arabs. I'm Nubian. I
Yeah.
identify as a Nubian. If somebody asks me, what are you? I tell them I'm African. I never say I'm Arab, even though I do speak Arabic. But so when I see these other wars happening in these other African nations, it makes me really sad and upset, and especially my country in its own, because it's basically my people killing other people, and it's being funded by outside sources. So my question is to you: what is the perspective of the African American living here when they see these wars that happen back home overseas, basically?
Right. And then you say home, that's your home over there. I'll say back home.
Well, back home
Uh,
to me. Sorry, yeah, my
right,
bad.
right. And let me tell you the perspective because, see, for a long time,
Mhm.
when there was conflict going on in Africa, we were in the forefront making noise about it. A lot of the independence movements in Africa that was kicked off by a lot of foundational black Americans making moves, making noise, going on over there to kind of kick up sand, going all the way back to I talk about this all the time. When Ethiopia was going to war with Italy, we jumped in the middle. We were trying to say, hey, we're down for Italy. I mean, we're down for Ethiopia to fight against Italy. We're riding with our brothers. Um, Patrice Lumumba, we were supportive of him. We were supportive of so many independent movements. You had brothers and sisters going over there, James Brown performing over there, and us taking big money fights over there to Zaire and do the Rumble in the Jungle. And we were real big on bigging up Africa, praising the independence. We had songs in the 70s talking, what's the word, Johannesburg. We were talking against apartheid. We were riding for Africa very heavily. The problem is this now we see this new generation of folks who come from Africa who have vitriol for us after all of the stuff that we've done. Even in the 1960s, we fought to get immigration so that African people can come over. We've always rode for Africa. The problem is, it's been such a one sided thing. Cats get over here and get with white people talking about them lazy Akatas and them lazy Jareers, and they get with the enemy class to denigrate us, and we're the only people that were trying to help them. So now our attitude is like, we're indifferent. We like hold your own nuts and fight your own battles.
Hmm.
That's the attitude that a lot of us have now because we've already done so much and it's never been reciprocated. So a lot of these people now over there, when you're having these wars and conflict, you don't have foundational black Americans standing there being the moral capital that you need. See, we're not jumping into all of these conflicts no more. This Israel Palestine thing, we ain't in that, and everybody wants us to kind of pick a side because they need our moral capital. We have moral capital that no other group has. So whoever we co-sign and side with, the world seems to say, okay, if foundational black Americans are riding for this group, we need to ride for them too. And we're being very indifferent now. We're holding on to our moral capital. We're not giving it out like we used to because it's not been reciprocated. So right now, we're letting everybody hold their own nuts, fight your own battle, and if y'all want us to stomp for you, we're gonna have to see some balanced support for us. People are gonna have to start standing up and saying, hey, we're going to do some things for foundational Black Americans too. We're going to allocate some land over here. So they want to come over here and build with us, let them come over and build. It's time for people overseas in the diaspora to get the hell on code and stop letting us fight all the damn battles so they can turn around and denigrate us. So that's where we are right now.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
My man, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, we ain't giving that moral capital out no more. The capes are off and people feel it. You understand? We told people, hey man, y'all better get some act right. Get your tethers talking greasy all the time. Because it's gonna be some straightening. And we let people know we're not gonna put the cape on. And we start letting folks know they got a little arrogant. They were like, well, what are you niggas gonna do? You niggas can't do anything. I'm a citizen. When I get across the border, fuck you niggas. It was that thing. And we're like, okay, some of y'all need to get across the border now. How you gonna get across that border? We ain't supporting you. And we saw what happened when some of them Haitians start trying to go across the border, and them famous pictures of them getting whooped on with white supremacists on horseback, and they thought we were gonna run with the capes on, and we really didn't. We're like, well, damn, bro, you better watch out for them whips. Damn, brother, bob and weave, my nigga. Watch out. Watch out for them hooves. Don't let them hooves get you. They thought we were gonna really stomp hard. And we're like, hey man, y'all badass, man. Handle that. Go ahead and handle that. Go ahead and you deal with that horse. You deal with that. And people saw we were serious. We're not jumping to the rescue. People coming over here after we done fought and coming over here having damn contempt for us and then expect us to jump up and cape. There was a tweet. Did y'all see the tweet earlier? There was some tether woman. I think she's from Kenya. Speaking of Kenya, I think she's from somewhere, but she put up a tweet talking grease about foundational Black Americans, talking about, I didn't know that African Americans wash their hair in the sink in the same place they prepare food. Oh my God, that just baffles me. We're like, really, nigga? Really? That little passive aggressive, you got a lot of nerve. Really, the shit that y'all eat over there and the way y'all prepare food and be digging holes in the ground and boiling shit in dirt, eating with your fingers and barbecuing bushmeat. Really? We don't want to go there, but damn. So we don't want to go. We don't want to have to point all that stuff out. We really don't. But if y'all gonna come over here and just be on some stupid ass arrogant shit, talking about how y'all wash hair in the sink, nigga, you ate a baboon legs. What are you talking about? You got the nerve to sit here and talk about how we prepare food, and we don't put our food in the damn sink. Yeah, we wash hair in the sink and all that because the sink is big. We don't actually put food in the sink, fool. The hell y'all talking about? The fact that you think we do, that means you do. That's some shit you do. You put food in a sink. We don't put food in no damn sink. We'll put it on a dish or in a bowl and wash it. Yeah. But yeah, that type of stuff makes us look at people funny style. Yeah. Let's get all right, we got a lot of let's get Yo Hope Light. I don't know what your name is. All right. All right. Yo Hope Light.
Yo, what up? Yo, let me ask you a quick question. Do you want to go on Tim Pool's show or no?
Okay. Now what about Tim Pool? Go on Tim Pool's show and talk about what?
Talk about whatever you like, FBAs or reparations, bussy, whatever the fuck you talk about. I just want to
Okay,
know
wait,
if you'd like to go up there
that's the
with
kind of
another guest.
that's a kind of major projection. Lord. Lord. Well, have Tim Pool holler at me. Have Tim Pool talk to me, and let's see what's going on in the. Because I would like to know what's going on in the white supremacist community. I would actually like to talk to Tim and some of the other white supremacists. Will you be on there?
I mean, you want me on there?
I would love to have as many of you white supremacists as possible.
I mean, I could arrange something like that. All right, so I'll have. I don't want to talk too much, so I'll just have the show booker reach out to you.
Right, and where do they tape the show?
I don't know. The fuck do I know? Tim Pool's your biggest fan?
Well, shit. You asked me to be on the show. What are you talking about? You want me to be on the show? I wanted to know some details.
But I mean, listen. I promise. I'll fly you out. I'll make sure all the details, the money
I just
part is taken care of. Don't worry.
right, I just need to know details. Is it going to be in somebody's trailer park? Do I need to wear?
Yeah. I mean,
I
I'll
don't.
get
I
back
don't.
to you on the
Right.
details.
Let me
I'm
know.
not.
Let me
I
know.
have no idea.
All
I
right.
have no idea. I
I'm
just
just,
wanted to know if you'd like to go on the show. We'd like to hear
but
more from you.
but I want to know details. Are y'all going to bathe before you? I don't. Wet dog smell. I'm allergic to it.
I
So
mean, dude,
little shit like that. I
what
need to know.
cologne you recommend? I'll wear it
I,
for you, bud.
right. I got some root work deodorant. Do I need to bring some for you? I don't need. I
Yeah,
need details.
yeah,
Okay.
that would be nice. I'd appreciate that,
All right.
please.
I just need details. That's all
All
I'm
right,
saying.
you're the fucking man. All right,
My man.
we'll be in touch.
Is
Right?
the deodorant you use behind plastic, like those little plastic things with the
Is it?
locks?
Hold on. Wait on that. Which one am I talking to? I'm getting confused on my white
I'm
supremacy.
the little doggy, you know.
Okay, there you go. Let me talk to you. Okay. All right. So now, what's your name, sir? What's your name?
It's John, and
John.
then Dave, and then
John.
Irving.
John Dave Irving. Okay. Now, John Dave, where you from, sir?
I am from the great state of Florida.
Okay. Sound like you had to just make some shit up, but all right. So, what's on your mind, John David?
Yeah, I mean this one-on-one, setting's pretty intimate. It's kind of stoking my ancestral urge to buck break, but
Oh yeah.
what I wanted
Calm it
to,
down. Let's calm it down. Yeah. Let's fight that urge. I know that. You
I
know,
know
y'all
it's
get
hard,
around
man.
brothers and y'all get around brothers
It's
and
just
bang.
so easy.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
fucking
man.
easy.
Yeah. It's a lot of people out there that's allowing themselves to get bug broken by your community. And you
Yeah,
guys
but seriously though, I wanted to get your opinion if you could espouse on this, kind of the origin of FBA because it confuses me.
now what are you confused
You
about? What are you
well,
confused?
it's just foundational Black American, right?
Yeah.
Or there's
Yeah.
another group saying full-blooded African. So I wanted
There's
to get
that's some troll shit. I don't know what a full blooded African is, but what are
no,
you?
it's like they're saying you guys are fake.
How can you have a fake lineage? What does that mean? How can you be a fake foundation of Black American? Fake is what? So we're fake. What's the real us?
No, they're saying you guys have like 20+% white in you, and that they're 100%. They're the true creators of the ice cream scoop.
Of the who's group?
The ice cream scoop.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is, sir. I don't know what that is, but we're a
An ice
lineage.
cream scoop?
A foundation of Black American is a lineage. We're like non-immigrants. Like you come from an immigrant background. We didn't. We're not immigrants. So that's the best way to describe it. And I'm assuming Ireland.
Well, I mean,
People,
you had a free ride on a Jewish ship. We had to pay it.
right? But yeah, but what part of what y'all fled from Ireland in what year?
I'm not Irish.
Don't say you're German. You're not German, sir. I
Well, I
can hear.
mean, everybody says they're German because it's Germanic. So,
But you're not German. You're not from. Your people didn't flee from Germany. They probably came over from somewhere like Ireland or Scotland, somewhere poor with potatoes. So, and I know
wrong with potatoes.
many of you are
You
very
don't like
ashamed.
French fries?
Many of you are very ashamed of your poor European background, sir, and I can understand that.
So, foundational Black Americans. So you don't even consider that to the full-blooded Africans. Consider it like you don't recognize it at all.
And sir,
Because I
boy,
just wanted to know which one.
wit is failing because you're not creative as a white supremacist. You're not that creative. That's why your wit is falling flat right now, and it's not hitting the way you wanted it to hit.
I thought you could tell when
How do you
people were
feel about?
thinking
How
the
do you
N
feel
word.
about? Think about. Let's have an intervention. How do you feel about being so unwitty and so
Can you
mediocre?
tell?
How
Can
do
you
you
tell
feel about being?
when white people are thinking the N word?
How do you feel about being so mediocre and so lackluster that you have to depend on a system of white supremacy? Because with your wit,
I mean, that's kind of mediocre. I just said nigger, and you're just gonna say mediocre.
yeah, nigga, yeah.
So,
Do you think that's offensive? Do you think that
no, I'm saying
it doesn't
you're
hit that?
calling me mediocre.
nigga doesn't hit.
compared to that?
It doesn't hit like you think it hits, sir. Because all
Why
that does
not?
is prove it. Because it proves what we already know is that you're a white supremacist, which we know. We know that, and that you have an inferiority.
How can I not be? It's just reality.
Yeah, and the reality is, them birth rates are struggling, sir, and we know that you're trying to
They
troll
are.
through. You're trying to troll through the pain of those.
Why is that such a big thing for you?
No, it's a big thing for you because you're trying to troll through it, sir. You're trying to make these unwitty snaps that's failing miserably, like your birth rate,
I
sir.
didn't snap.
You're throwing haymakers. That's called haymakers. I can hear the
I mean,
pain in
keep on throwing the same thing. You keep on throwing the
and,
birth rate,
and
but
it's
one day,
right, and them
one
birth
day,
rates.
it's gonna come back.
Yeah, them haymakers ain't really hitting though, are they?
I
You just
mean,
you just saying stuff that's unwitty and unfunny because you think you control past the pain of them birth rates going down.
you
And
know
them
what?
white
It is funny is
and them you're at home on a Saturday night by yourself. The white women in your community is somewhere at a juke joint, smoking a blunt and getting piped down by a brother.
can you espouse since you're always talking.
And no, sir, slow down, slow down. The white women that you want are somewhere at a club, sitting on a brother's lap right now, and you're sitting at home by yourself in that lonely, cold trailer park, drinking a Bud Light, yelling "nigga, nigga,
Trailer
nigga,"
park, huh?
and it ain't even hitting
Yeah.
like you don't hit. How does that make you feel, sir?
So, feels pretty good, honestly.
No, it doesn't. I can.
Because having sex prior to marriage is a sin, but I am married. But that's what you're saying.
You're not
So
married, sir. You're not married, sir.
I am.
Sir, you're not married, sir.
Sir, I
There's
am. And it's
a
to a
white
fucking black
sir,
woman without a fucking white.
sir. I can hear the bussy love in your voice. You're
How do you
not married
feel about
to
that, huh?
you're not married to a woman, sir.
She wanted.
Your voice is all thin and frail. You're a
No, it's
power
not.
white bottom. You're a power
No, it's
white bottom.
not.
Yes, you are. So you're a power white bottom. That's what you are.
White bottom.
Yes, you are. You're a
Yeah,
power
because when I
bottom,
buck.
sir. Um, you invite big burly black men over there to to do a little something for $40. All right, that's what you
Black
do.
men don't cost $40.
So he said, yes, you get low level brothers to come over there and work for them $40, and y'all role play, and you dress up like Lady Gaga and bend over and let niggas do your shit. You probably got a Lady Gaga wig on right now, sir.
Bro, isn't that your fucking stepmom?
No. We're talking about you and what you got going on. And you,
I'm talking about your stepmom. I
no,
want to
no,
know
no,
more about.
no. We want to know about your Lady Gaga wig. And you let brothers over, and you be like, poker face, poker face.
Mom's looking real good.
All right. But anyway, let me let you go ahead and wipe up the bed
She
sheets
isn't.
and get
She
them.
isn't fucking.
Go ahead, get them stains up out that bed, sir. I suggest you put woolite on your sheets. It'll get them real tough bussy stains up out of there. That's what Andrew Gillum would use at the hotels. Okay. Boy, we're having an intervention with a lot of the white supremacists tonight. We're having interventions. All right. I think we're making progress with them, helping them cope with some of the insecurities. All right. Let's see who we got. Nathaniel's been trying to get on for a minute. Get Mr. Nathaniel on here. This is Nathaniel's an OG white supremacist.
Exactly.
What's
Hi,
going on?
Tariq. Thank you for letting me up. I appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. What's on your mind, Mr. Nathaniel?
Yeah, I actually have a serious question for you.
Go ahead.
People in your community tend to view Jews as just a subset of like white people, and they can't discern the fact that, they're actively trying to genocide the white population in every nation they live in. So I would like to know your thoughts on that. If you can offer them, I know it's a contentious subject, but please go ahead.
Well, the thing is, why do you white supremacists? Why are you so cowardly when you can't deal with the conflicts you have in your community? You always want black people to fight your battles. Why do you want black people to fight your battles against certain Jewish people who you have an issue with? Why don't you deal with your own issues?
Oh, we're trying our best. I don't want you to fight our battles for us. I was just curious
You do.
about why
Uh,
you view other Jewish people as like white people, quote
yeah.
unquote. They define themselves in opposition to us.
Then define what's a white person. What's a white person then?
A Western European person.
Okay, but that would be Irish, Scottish, right?
Absolutely.
Italian, right?
Sure.
Then why weren't these people considered white until relatively recently?
Now that's a subversion, Tariq. It likely
No,
has to do with the
no.
fact that there was a union culture in places like New York and Boston and all the places that these people immigrated to that did not want to include them. And that's why they made this distinction between white
Right.
and
So
non white.
white,
White
right? So
means
whiteness
your
is conditional.
ancestors evolved in Europe. That's what that means.
But for the white people who was from Europe, the Greeks weren't considered white. That's Europe. The Italians weren't considered white. That's Europe. Irish weren't considered white. That's Europe. Jews, many of them come from Europe. The Ashkenazis, you're saying that they're not white. So whiteness is conditional. You pick and choose when and where you're going to allow somebody to be white,
I'm
right?
going to have to totally disagree. And here's why.
Go
Not
ahead.
only do Ashkenazi Jews, we'll just take them as an example, define themselves subjectively as non white or selectively white, shall we say, but they also have a solid infusion of Turco Mongolian DNA that has made them the kind of, I don't know, Oriental mixture that they are. It affects
But
their temperament,
Turkey,
it affects their.
Tur- Turkey is
Go.
in Europe. Turkey is in Europe. I've been there. It's in Europe.
No, but we're making just a territorial kind of arbitrary distinction here, aren't we?
But you said people with European backgrounds. Turkey is in Europe. Ireland is in Europe. Italy is in Europe. Greece is in Europe. But these people, for a long time, were considered white until recently. So whiteness is conditional. It's basically when whoever y'all pick and choose to be white that day, you let them be white. And there are Asians who are allowed to be white. There are North Africans who are classified as white,
Which
right?
North Africans? Sorry, I'm curious. I've never heard this before.
Yeah. Um, the Moroccans, the North Africans are classified as white. Libyans, they're classified as white.
I have absolutely never heard that before, but thank you for educating me.
Yeah, just look it up. The United States government, they let you know what groups of people are considered white or Caucasian. They're very specific about this stuff. So it's conditional. So the thing is, what's the difference between an Anglo white supremacist, an Italian white supremacist, and a Jewish white supremacist? What's the difference?
A Jewish white supremacist. Would you
Yeah,
like to say that back to yourself?
yeah, Jewish white supremacists. There's been
What
many.
exactly is a Jewish? Can you give me an example of who a Jewish white supremacist might be? I'm
I'll
just
give you a
curious.
couple. Dan Burrows. All right. Another person, Frank Joseph. Let's look those names up. Okay, Frank Joseph, Dan Burrows. These were two Jewish people at two different times who were part of the American Nazi Party, and they got outed. Dan Burrows killed himself once he got outed as Jewish by a New York Times reporter, and Frank Joseph, he got outed, and then he became, ironically, very pro-black. He started telling the truth about black people and how we were the original inhabitants of the Americas. So look those names up. These are people
Do
who
you
were
think
Jewish.
that their
Who were,
involvement in the American Nazi Party might not have something to do with the fact that they were trying to control the opposition? Right? This is what they tend to do with different political parties in the US. I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but right? They tend to try to control the opposition in every political frame that they're involved in, right?
or maybe
And
they were white supremacists.
or maybe they, or maybe they weren't. They define themselves in opposition to white people. They always have consistently.
Then how were they so able to easily blend in?
Well, that would take about an hour to tell you, but ultimately what
No,
I'll
it
say
won't.
is
No, it won't. No, it doesn't. It don't take an hour. Why are they so easily blending in with white supremacist groups?
because they have centuries of practice, Tariq.
Practice doing what?
Aping the mannerisms and the customs of Europid people.
What's the customs of Europic people?
Oh, it depends which society you're in, but ultimately, this is the gift of the Jew.
Any okay? What's white culture that they're
Any Western European culture.
which is what?
Anything west of the Urals is how I define it.
So what are they mimicking?
Uh, the customs and the cultural milieu of every culture that they live in, right?
Okay,
How
what's
people
the
generally
what's
live,
what's
how they think,
what's
how
the
they
what's
express
the
themselves. Sorry, go ahead.
what's white culture? You're not explaining what exactly are white cultures and customs. What is it
Oh,
exactly?
there are subsets of white culture. There's Irish culture, there's English culture, there's Scottish culture, there's German culture. But I didn't say white culture. I said whichever European culture they tend to find themselves in.
You said European culture, and then you said the Jewish were able to emulate the European culture, which is you haven't defined it. What is it? And you just said it's a whole bunch of different stuff.
I'm not defining European culture. I'm defining cultures of nations which exist in Europe.
So why are the Jewish people, if they're not white, how could they easily blend in if they're not white?
It's an evolutionary adaptation. The work of Dr. Kevin MacDonald, The Culture of Critique, is a very, very good evolutionary biology work on this topic. I would invite you to check it out.
So they evolved into being white, which is the point. They're white.
No,
If
they evolved into aping the mannerisms of whatever society they're in, black, white, whatever. I am
no,
telling you that the internal persona of the Jew can manifest itself in anything. White people, Asian people, black people, all of it. There are crypto Jews of every single race, my friend. And
name
this
the
is
name the
because they
Asian
are the
Jews.
seed of the serpent. Sorry, go ahead.
Name the Asian Jews.
Well, there are the Kaifeng Jews, and there are also what are called the Hada or the Chada, who are a sort of fifth column in Japan. It's von Backen, he wrote about this voluminously in his work, The Jewish Fifth Column in Japan. And there's also an interesting work called Chinese Communism, Chinese Jews, that makes a case for the fact, excuse me, that Mao Zedong may have been a Kaifeng Jew. But ultimately, yeah,
But this isn't. But that's not a white Jewish person emulating them. These are people who just came out of Jewish lineages and traveled into Far East. That's what that is.
sure, but by all outward appearances, they're Asian or they're North African or
R-
they're Muslim, right?
Right.
But
Well, just like
internally, they
like
define themselves Jewishly. They have a
right.
unique perspective that can only be called
Well,
quote unquote Jewish.
but the thing is, you got in Africa. There's Jewish tribes in Africa,
There are.
and the Jewish black people from Africa, they go to Israel and they complain about white supremacy from the white Jews. So that
They
they're white.
that is an unfortunate mistake on their part. I will say this. Have you ever read the anti-black sections of the Jewish Talmud, Mr. Tariq Nasheed?
I've heard about them. Yes, I have.
There are a lot of them. And I wouldn't say that that is quote unquote white supremacy. What I would say about that is they have a tendency to view all races except their own. They define
Now,
themselves as a race. It's difficult to
have
define them.
have you heard of the anti-black interpretations that white people would use with the Bible against us?
Yes, but that originates with the Jews.
Yeah, I know that. Like the curse of Ham, and the white Christians fell right along in line with it.
Well,
White,
honestly, I don't agree with
you're
that.
right.
I don't
No,
condone that.
no, but enough of them did. The white supremacists and the Jewish white supremacists, the Anglo white supremacists and the Jewish white supremacists all got together and said, "Hey, this curse of Ham thing, yep, we're going to preach that." And we're going to use that to create laws against these black people. That's why you're not telling me why we should look at the white supremacist who's Anglo or the white supremacist who's Jewish any different from each other when they're both against us.
Well, let me ask you, Tariq, who are the oligarchs of today? Not just in America, but in Russia or in Argentina
Okay,
or.
but
Oh, go ahead.
you didn't answer that. You just kind of deflected, sir.
No, 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 it's okay. I'm sorry, I didn't
Okay.
mean to deflect.
No,
The
no.
Hamitic myth is
That's
interesting because this is something that Jewish ship owners, merchants, money trust officials used to justify the transatlantic slave trade.
The Anglo
And
white
there's no excuse for that.
and the Anglo white supremacists were preaching it too. The white preachers and white slave owners were preaching the same thing, and they were using that to make laws against us. It wasn't the Jewish people making the laws; it was the white supremacists over here
But who
who's
did this concept originate with, Tariq? This is what
who
you need to
who who
understand.
who perpetuated it. All of the white supremacists did. All right, all of them were in on this thing.
But
So
why would you define a Jewish person as a white supremacist when they so clearly view the quote unquote white person, which is the Western European, as a kind of inferior? I think akum is the word they use in their Talmud, right? Which is
but
a
the
kind of
thing is,
unclean animal.
a lot of white supremacists look at themselves in a janky way. That's what makes them white supremacists. It's insecurity. A lot Anglo white supremacists look at themselves negatively. You look at your birth rates and say, "Oh God, we're pathetic." So a lot of you look at yourselves like that, not just the Jewish community.
Why have birth rates plummeted so far? Just curious. In the white
You
community.
you have a shit. It's damn near zero birth rate. You're dying more than
I
you're being
know it's
born.
genocidal, so why is it like that?
But who's committing genocide though? It's not genocide. It's just nature. It's not
Jewish oligarchs against
so.
white people.
Oh, now how are Jewish people creating genocide against you?
Well, first of all, they tax the white man so heavily he can no longer afford children. The other way is they attack them in the public schools and in the entertainment media, making them to believe that they are unworthy of reproduction, right? That they are essentially a kind of born guilty class. And other than that, well, there are a few different ways, but I'll let you respond. Sorry.
Yeah, that's sound like a bunch of "I'm white and I say so." That's "I'm white and I say so" talk.
I'm
Because
white and I say so. No,
yeah,
you're
that's
my equal, Tariq. Please go ahead.
right. Again, you haven't explained what's the difference between a Jewish white supremacist, because there are people who are Jewish who classify themselves as white, and an Anglo white supremacist. And you keep telling me how white they're not, but they're white
Uh,
enough.
I have an answer for you. A
Go ahead.
Jewish white supremacist defines himself as ethnically Jewish because
Right.
Talmudic Judaism is an ethno religion. That
Well,
ethnic Judaism is distinct from and in contempt of Western European Christian lineage.
all right. Now that's a you problem, because both of y'all get together and look at me and you get on code against me. So basically, you and a bunch of other different white supremacist groups, you all get together to pillage us black people, and then you fight amongst each other over the money. That's all you're doing. You're fighting each other over the money and the spoils of war against us.
No,
And
sir, the money supply is controlled entirely by
that
one group,
no, and
which is
no,
anti human, not
white
merely anti black or
it's
anti
controlled
white.
by white supremacists.
You want
That's
to
who.
talk about white supremacists. I want to talk about Jewish supremacists.
Um, it's, it's not Jewish supremacy, because the black Jewish people aren't
Oh, but
supreme.
it is.
Who are the black Jews supreme over? They're Jewish. How come they're not supreme over anybody? How come they're going through the same anti-black racism as we are?
Because they're viewed as having a lower average IQ than the rest of the Ashkenazi Jews.
Right. The Ashkenazi Jews are white,
The
which
Ashkenazi Jews are not white.
they're white enough.
This is very damning on your part, Tariq,
Okay, wait,
but
wait. So
I'm going to try to bear
no, no,
with
no,
you.
no, okay, let's slow down, because if they say they got lower IQs,
Well, didn't they try to sterilize a bunch of Ethiopian Jews before they
they
led them
actually
into Israel?
they actually did that. They did do that.
Well, that's a disgusting, unconscionable act done by people whose eugenic programs are infamous from the time that they've existed in ancient periods, right? The
Many of the
time from
Jews and many of the eugenicists were Anglo white people over here. The eugenics movement was a lot of white supremacists who were Anglo over here in the United States.
the most prolific, most notorious, most brutal eugenicists have always been Jewish people. And I can prove this. I can prove this, whether they were crypto Jews or literally Jewish and proud to say so. They have always been Jews,
Is Margaret Sanger Jewish?
partly.
What part is Jewish? I've never heard that.
Well, you need to trace the bloodline, sir, as I have.
What? No, her family's not Jewish. Where is a Jewish person in her family, sir?
You go back a few generations, right? A lot of Anglo Saxon DNA is interspersed with Jewish, sort of invasive DNA. Margaret Sanger is one example of that.
That's just unwhite not say so. Who? When? How far down? You're just saying that there's a Jew somewhere in the
Three
family.
generations back, she had a great grandmother who was
Mhm.
partly Jewish.
Oh Lord. Well, that doesn't make her Jewish.
Well, it
A
depends
lot
who
of the
you
white,
ask, but according to
the
me, it
white
does.
supremacy. Here's the thing: the white supremacists are always claiming somebody's Jewish. These they say that my wife's family is Jewish, which isn't true. Y'all just say that. That's just
Well,
something
why
that.
do you keep calling me a white supremacist, Tariq? I just want to have
Oh,
discourse with you.
I know, well, sir. You have white supremacists regalia on your page. You have this.
Regalia?
Yeah,
Which
well, you have this the eagle. You have the eagle. That's and yeah, you got these white supremacist symbols on your page. So I suspect you are a white supremacist, sir.
I want a nation of black and white people standing together in an imperium. I want to conquer the world with you, Tariq. I want
But
black people and white people to
so why do
stand
you?
arm in arm and conquer the rest of this godforsaken planet.
But Nathaniel, why do you have um, symbols associated with the Nazis on your page?
Because it's subversive. Do you understand? Because it's a thumb in the face of the establishment or a middle finger to it, right? But this is not an association with Nazis so much as it is, excuse me, an affirmation of the eagle as an icon of American identity, shared by both black and white, by the way.
But that's the German one, though. That's not the American one. All right, that's the German symbol. And remember, the United States went to war with Germany, so you can't have it both ways. But you can
Sure,
have it.
but could we
But you
go into
can.
the reasons why maybe the United States went into war with Germany?
Oh, let's hear this. Go ahead. How? Why?
All
Why?
right.
Why they?
Well, there were certain shadowy elements involved in the financial complex of the United States who saw it as in their interest because the Germans essentially threw off the usury based debt system of money that existed in their country. They said, holy shit, we can't let this happen. Other nations are going to follow suit. So they made an alliance with what was supposedly their greatest enemy, which is communist Soviet Russia, which intended to establish a classless, moneyless society, and said, we are going to combine our forces. We are going to crush Germany, and we are going to make sure that nothing like this financial revolution, which Hitler implemented, will happen again. And that's exactly what they did. And they were insanely brutal about it. They had no regard for human life whatsoever. And the result now is Europe as you see it today, right? On the back foot, retreating.
So, do you believe that? Are you one of these people who think that the Holocaust was a myth?
No, not exactly.
Oh, not exactly. Oh,
You caught me there. No, here's what
oh.
I'll say. No, I think the Holocaust happened. I think there were death camps. I do, however, believe that the totals were inflated by maybe about 1 million or so. That's my position.
Okay. And the thing about Germany and Hitler and those guys, the problem they had was with the white ethno state they wanted to create. They created a whole myth about
A
the
German ethno state, not a white ethno state, but go ahead.
no, no, they was all about whiteness.
Yeah, no,
But-
they never said the word white. They were not white nationalists or white supremacists. Wherever I defy you to find any source that says Hitler, am a white nationalist. Didn't exist. Whiteness as a concept didn't exist in Germany.
No, but yeah, whiteness does exist because they knew blackness exists, and Hitler used the word nigger several times. Right?
Where?
Mein Kampf.
He didn't use the word nigga in Mein Kampf.
Yes, he
Which
did.
translation are you reading?
He not only did he use the word nigger, he called Jews Negroes in Mein Kampf.
He may have said they had Negroid DNA, which is factual, by the way. But
Oh, okay. But yeah, that was the whole thing. In Mein Kampf, he said the Jews are a Negro race. He said that in Mein Kampf.
You
right?
need to read the Mannheim translation, honestly. I feel like somebody
I,
slipped
I,
one in on you here.
sir, in Mein Kampf, Hitler says that the Jews, this Negro race, he
Well,
said
they
that
do have about 10% Negroid ancestry on average. That's what I would
that
say.
was that's what the issue that they had with Jewish people.
No, it's not. Oh my gosh.
What was the issue? What was the issue?
The issue was they were tied up in Bolshevism, right? Which threatened to destroy the whole German state and kill millions of Germans, eradicate whole German bloodlines. That was Hitler's issue with Jews.
No, his issue was with the race. And he said, even in Mein Kampf, he said what they're doing, them being against Jewish people, has nothing to do with their religion. It was because that they were Negroes.
No, absolutely not. And if you believe that, I'm sorry. You're just kind of deluded. And
I'm
really,
not
it's a waste of time
deluded.
to talk to you. But look, here's what I
Sir,
would say, right?
I want folks to look this up, family. I want people to
Their
look that up.
being tied up in Bolshevism was the primary motivating factor for Jews being quote unquote persecuted when Hitler came to power. That
Mm,
was the problem. They thought that what happened in Russia in 1917, the Bolshevik Revolution, which killed millions of Russians, eradicated whole Russian bloodlines, was going to happen in Germany. That was the prime motivator for the rise of the Third Reich.
okay. But in Mein Kampf,
I feel
I'm
like you're almost admitting defeat here, right? You just
no,
moved
no,
on
no,
like, oh, we're getting into the weeds here.
no, but yeah, you just kind of, doing a whole bunch of I'm white and I say so. But I've read
No,
through my
tell me what this is.
I
I'm white and I say so. Can you describe what
that
that is exactly?
that's basically the underlining premise of white supremacy. It all boils down to, hey, I'm white and I say so at the end of the day, and you can't do anything about it.
Is
I,
does I'm
I,
white and I say so have anything to do with actually reading the source material and being familiar with
yeah,
it?
because I'm telling you what the source material says, and you're like, nope, no, it don't, and I'm telling you,
I
I'm
didn't deny it. I
yeah,
said that
you
at one
like,
Negroid DNA,
what
right?
translation was
We're on
that?
the same page there, but it was used as a colloquialism. That's the sense in which it was used.
How so?
Well, listen, right? Are you familiar with the Jesse Owens story? Jesse
Which
Owens
one?
was
There's so many.
snubbed. Excuse me?
Which is so many Jesse Owens stories. Which one?
No, no, no. I'm referring to Jesse Owens participated in the Olympics in Berlin, right? And
Yeah.
this media contrivance is that, oh, Hitler snubbed him because Jesse Owens won a gold medal. And he didn't, he was so angry that somebody who wasn't part of his Aryan race won an event. But no, by all accounts, he was invited to a dinner that Hitler attended. He was very friendly with him. He was kind. He was generous, right? The person who snubbed him was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who stood for re-election in the same year that Jesse won his gold medal, right? And he did this because he was a crippled bigot who, basically couldn't hold Hitler's jock. I'll say that honestly. Hitler had a much more holistic view of mankind and the different races, regardless of whether they were Aryanic or not, than somebody like FDR or any other American president did for that matter.
Okay. Now I believe FDR was a racist, and they were all. And this is my point. All of them were racist. The Anglo white supremacists, the Germans, all of them were racist. All of them were anti-black racists. They all get together and practice anti-black racism against us. The Germans actually got a lot of their anti-black racism and eugenics mindset from the American white supremacists. So yeah, I'm already knowing. That's why I don't make a distinction between white supremacists. I just don't. All of them are working against us. All of them. So you pointing out the ethnic background of a white supremacist, that doesn't mean anything. Just like people try to point out George Zimmerman. Well, he's not really white, he's Hispanic. He's white enough. And the white supremacist supported him killing a black kid. Yeah? So it doesn't matter. That's the point. There's no point. You're making a distinction without a real difference. I call it hot potato, Nathaniel.
Mm-hmm.
And the white supremacists are very good at playing hot potato.
Sure.
They all maintain a certain level of power, but when we come in the room, they all start pointing the fingers at each other. It's like good cop, bad cop. It's him.
I get it.
He's the bad guy. No, he's the bad guy. No, he's
Right.
the. And all of them are in on it. That's the thing. All of them are in on it. Now, y'all want to fight among yourselves about your ethnic differences, whatever. But when we come in the room, you all get on code against us. And that's the common denominator. So I can't take my eye off nothing but these white supremacists. I don't care what their backgrounds are religiously. I don't care what part of Ireland you came from. You all came from some slum in Europe, all of you. It doesn't matter. When you get here, you're against me if you're a white supremacist. So that's what I'm looking at. That makes sense?
Of course it does. But
There you
I understand why you see it that way. But let me just ask you a quick question, just as a thought exercise. Why is it that there seems to be this pervasive culture of anti-whiteism among Jewish people, specifically Jewish intellectuals, where they say we need to abolish whiteness, whiteness is a cancer, whiteness is the white race is the cancer of history, as the Jewish intellectual Susan Sontag said
Well,
famously.
based on facts and history, it seems like there's an affinity for it because when many Jewish people come here or they came here, they assimilated into white culture and changed their last names to fit in with whiteness. Many white celebrities actually have Jewish backgrounds that you don't know about because all they did was change their last name. So
Sure.
there was an affinity to whiteness. There's not this vitriolic hatred towards whiteness from Jewish people. Many of them seem to love being white. So
But why would they seek, no, you misunderstand me. Why would they seek to abolish whiteness, as so many of them do, when they've profited so much by whiteness, according to your claim?
But I don't see them abolishing it. I see people maintaining it, and I
Really,
see
people like
people.
Noel Ignatieff weren't seeking to abolish whiteness?
Well,
Susan
yeah,
Sontag?
I don't think too many people who are Jewish and white thought like him because they are not practicing his ideologies, whatever it is. A
I
lot
think
of
you
the
need to
same,
take a look at just how overrepresented Jews are on the American left, specifically among the racial abolitionist left, and then get back to me.
but that makes no. That's a distinction again without a difference. You have a lot of them who are classified as white, and they have no problem being white. They're not trying to abolish anything. They're trying to
But
maintain.
what if we exist in a system of white supremacy? What
Right.
possibly could profit them in abolishing the distinction between white and non-white?
Um, I don't see them abolishing it.
All right, but they
I,
avowedly
a
seek
lot
to
of
do
Jewish,
this,
a lot of
right?
Jewish
If you don't
people
see this, it's
classify,
because you don't want to see it,
a
Tariq.
lot of Jewish people classify themselves as white, and they benefit from white supremacy. Many of them do. They get the same benefits and privileges and protections under whiteness. You don't have white Jewish people being mass incarcerated. You understand? They're not being marginalized. They're being protected by their whiteness. Now, black people who are Jewish, they get locked up all the time. You see, they benefit from white supremacy.
I
They're
would
not trying
argue
to
that they're
abolish
not
that.
being protected by their whiteness so much as they are protected by their extreme in-group preference and
Um,
higher average per capita income. But go ahead.
no, no, it's called whiteness. It's the whiteness that's protecting them. Just like
I, I'm gonna have to press X to doubt there, but to each their own.
yeah, of course, you have the luxury of denial. We don't have the luxury of denial. We got to think in terms of reality, and that whiteness is a protective factor. That's what makes people buy into. You get benefits and goodies and protections. You get the Kyle Rittenhouse if you're white, even if you're poor. You keep talking about all this money, but poor
The
trailer,
Kyle Rittenhouse?
yeah, poor trailer trash like Kyle Rittenhouse. You can go out and say, "Hey, I want to kill some people," and go kill them, and then you'll have a court system and a media system and a judicial system and a police enforcement system who will get on code with you and say, "Hey, yeah, it was self-defense." That's what whiteness is about. It's protective. You see, and you get to use "I'm white and I say so." All
So
right.
you think that the case of Kyle Rittenhouse was the media and the courts and God knows who else being in the tank for him specifically? Just curious.
100% them getting on code with him
All
and
right.
maintaining white
Well,
supremacy.
we
Using using
fundamentally disagree
using
about that. I got to tell you.
using I'm white and I say so. That was the I'm white and I say so case.
No, I just said I disagree. I'm not
Right.
saying you're right, you're wrong. I'm just saying
Uh,
I disagree.
I'm just saying what facts are. That case was based on I'm white and I say so. A black person couldn't pay for that kind of preferential treatment from a media source, a court system, and law enforcement. You couldn't pay for it, sir.
You
If you're
seem to be making a lot of like non-falsifiable religious statements, which is fine. It's okay if that's what you want to do, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not hearing a lot of hard evidence here. I'm hearing mostly kind of feelings. I don't know.
well, I'm talking about things from a historic standpoint. Historically, you don't have no case on the planet Earth in this country, for example, of a black person saying, "Hey, I want to kill some protesters," and then he gets a gun, go kills people, and a court, a judge will sit up and say, "Well, you can't call the people he killed victims. You can't show any of his violence um, beforehand. You can't show videos of him beating up people. You can't show his associations with white supremacists." Black folks don't get that at all. You don't, never in a million years. That's called white supremacy, sir.
Well, what about OJ?
OJ was innocent. That's what OJ is about. OJ is innocent.
All
What?
right.
What?
With that,
What?
I
What?
take my leave. Thank you,
No, no,
everybody.
no, 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 no.
Good dealing with
What's so
you.
funny? What's so funny? Oh, he left. Yeah, OJ is not comparable to Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse was on camera shooting people. OJ, they tried to frame him. OJ didn't kill nobody. Wait. Where we got any white supremacists in here who think OJ killed somebody? OJ is 100% innocent, and the court proved that he didn't do that. The Kyle Rittenhouses and those people did it on camera, and it was premeditated. They sat there and said they wanted to do it. Yeah, that's a way big difference. OJ is 100% innocent. OJ didn't kill nobody. The court proved that. Not only did he not kill anybody, the way they said he did it was damn near physically impossible when you look at the evidence. Oh, I studied the OJ case. I was around when that thing went down. You would have to be super Negro to do the stuff they said OJ did. OJ is 100% innocent. They tried the "I'm white and I say so" with OJ, and it backfired. It didn't work. They've been mad about that for 30 something years. They tried the "I'm white and I say so" with the OJ thing. See, they're used to saying, "Hey, you did it, and we said you did it, and we're going to punish you based on what we said." And they had a white supremacist cop sitting there planting evidence, allegedly, and they asked him in court, "Did you plant evidence?" And he was like, "I plead the fifth." That jury did the right thing. That was 100% reasonable doubt. We got to really analyze that OJ case, because the majority of the people on that jury were black. The white supremacists, they've been trying to demonize that jury for years. That's been the most scrutinized jury in history. That jury was the most fair jury. They did exactly what they're supposed to do. Find that man innocent. Not just not guilty. OJ was innocent. OJ didn't kill no damn two people with a knife. Fuck out of here. At 9 o'clock at night, and then made it to the airport with no scratches on, and get fuck out of here. OJ didn't kill no damn body. OJ is 100% innocent, man. Wasn't even no real motive. We got to really analyze that OJ thing. People are still salty. They put out a lie about OJ, talking about OJ had prostate cancer and he was in a hospice and all this old stuff. OJ's like, "Hey guys, I'm fine, guys. I'm not in a hospice. Hey, I don't know who put that rumor out, guys, but I'm getting ready for the Super Bowl, guys. So, hey, peace out, guys." OJ, he still loves some white folks. OJ did not give up that hankering for white folks. But, yeah, they're still mad at OJ. It's because they couldn't do the "I'm white and I say so" against OJ, because OJ hired one of the best lawyer in the United States, Johnny Cochran. A lot of y'all where my young people, y'all don't understand the magic of Johnny Cochran and how thorough this brother was. Some of y'all were not old enough to know. For my young folks, we had a black lawyer named Johnny Cochran back in the day who was not no damn joke. Johnny Cochran was a beast. That dude had a crisp mouthpiece. Johnny Cochran was giving these folks the blues. Johnny was not a jail. You got a lot of people who's out of jail now. Diddy is out of jail because of Johnny Cochran. Snoop, Johnny Cochran. Didn't Johnny represent Tupac, guys? If I'm not mistaken, y'all give me a thumbs up or thumbs down in one of Tupac's cases. If I'm not mistaken, not the New York case. Um, in one of Pac's cases, was Johnny represented? Did he represent Tupac at one point? In because Tupac had a whole bunch of cases at the time. He didn't. He did. Or he didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I know that sexual assault case. I know Johnny wasn't on that one. If he was, he'd probably get Pac off. He probably would have gotten Pac off that. But I want to say he represented Tupac at one point. If I don't know. He represented so many people. Todd Bridges, a lot of folks, and got them out of situations. And Johnny proved that OJ was innocent. OJ didn't do that. The media, they didn't tell you with the OJ situation. Ron and Nicole, who were the victims of the murder, several of their other friends were killed in a similar way. They left that out. They never talk about a lot of their other friends were being offed at the same time because these people were mixed up with some real shady folks. They were mixed up with a lot of shady people. The Ron Goldman, he worked at the Mezzaluna restaurant over there in Brentwood, and other waiters. He was a waiter at the restaurant. Other waiters were getting killed over there. There was another waiter who worked there named Michael Nigg. He got killed. So a couple of these waiters were getting killed at this restaurant. It was a whole thing that the media left out. They left a lot of it because it was more sensational to say, "Hey, well, OJ did it." That's where you could sell the most papers and the books and all of that, falsely blaming OJ. The falsely blaming OJ thing became a whole industry within itself. That became $1 billion industry. The truth wasn't gonna make no money. The truth was that those people were involved with shady people, and they just got it caught up in some shady business. But the fact that OJ was connected to a girl, that hey, we can drag this out for decades, which is what they did. The fact that OJ was connected to the woman, they had, we can create a whole storyline and drag this thing out, and that's exactly what they did. The money is into bringing OJ into it. If they told the truth, that story would have been buried years ago. Nobody would have gave a damn. But they've been milking this lie for decades, and it's a lie. OJ is 100% innocent. Don't let nobody fool you. They just try to hit you with the "I'm white and I say so." Let's get Space. Let's get Space in here. Space, hop on, man. Space. I think that's your name. Want to turn your microphone on, brother?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, what's on your mind?
How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, man? Talk to me. What's up?
Good, man. Nice to talk to you again. So I had uh, 2 questions.
Okay.
Actually, before that, you are right. Tupac did hire Johnny Cochran. Well, I looked it up when you were talking about it.
Which case was it for?
So the it says it's from MTV from like 1990s, October 15, 1995. So it says Tupac hires Johnny Cochran. It's kind of like it's fucking written by like a fucking 10-year-old dude. It's kind of stupid.
Okay.
But I mean,
Uh,
I'll put the link in that in your. I was actually trying to do that
okay.
right now.
Okay. If somebody can help me out and let me know which case it was, I remember seeing Johnny with Pac, so I did remember it right. I
Yeah,
just can't remember which case it was because our brother Pac, they were
it
throwing
doesn't
a
say the
bunch of
case.
cases on.
Yeah, it doesn't say
It,
the case in that in that story. It does not say the case.
okay.
But
Oh, well, I'll
anyway,
find out later.
so so
What
so
else
like
is on your
so I had like just basically like 2 questions for you. I talked to you like maybe 2-3 months ago, and I asked you if you had seen I think it's called South to Black Power, and then I just want to know if you actually, because at that time you said you didn't watch it, so I was wondering if you did watch it and what you thought about it.
I didn't see it.
Also,
I didn't see it.
oh, you haven't watched it yet. It's on HBO Max, so but
Okay.
it's pretty good. And then okay, well, I was really hoping you watched it so we could talk about it. But my second dumb question was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate Philippe's in Los Angeles? Just a dumb
Where's
question.
where's Philippe? Where's Philippe's?
It's I man, I've been there twice. It's like right by Union Station, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But anyway, but thank you, brother.
Okay.
That's
Hey man, you have
random as fucking hell. All right, Grinds. This is it, Grinds TV. Let's get Grinds. All right, waiting on Grinds. All right, Grinds. All right, let's get my Linda in here. All right, my Linda. Miss My Linda, hop on, ma'am. All right, let's turn your microphone on. All right, I hate when people get up here and not turn their microphone on. All right, let me see. Let's get a lot in here. And we got a lot of people, almost 1,000 people in here. What's up, Elijah? Hop on, man. Okay. Let's get the people up here. Let's get some dude with a cat on his page. Let me get my Linda out of here. Some dude with a cat on his page. All right. Dude with a
Hello,
cat.
Tariq. Tariq, can you hear me?
Oh, Lord. Jesus. Man, if you don't get them balls out your mouth and talk like you got some sense. Now,
Tariq, I support the FBA movement. And
okay,
did you know
dude,
that
finish making your money. All right. Finish getting them $60. Don't call with your mouth full. All right, let's see what else is on here. Don't call me in between jobs. Stop it. All right. All right. You need that money. All right. Okay. Let me get one more because I've been on here for a minute. We got Ron's Revenge with Ron DeSantis up here. Ron's Revenge. What's up, Ron's Revenge?
Hey, what's good, Tariq? I was
What's up? Go ahead,
uh,
Ron's Revenge. Ron, where you from?
so listen, yes, listening to you and Paul.
Ron?
Yeah, hello, can you hear
Ron.
me?
Okay. Now, Ron, where you from, Ron?
I don't really want to get into that, but I was listening to you and Paul Allen.
Okay. Let's slow it down. Ron? Okay, it doesn't work like this, Ron. Okay, this isn't the Section 8 office. You don't go in there barking out demands like, I need repairs on my trailer. No, you don't come in here barking out demands. See, we have decorum here, all right? This is not Bob's Bass Fishing. You just come in and bark out some goddamn demands, all right? I'm not your fentanyl dealer. You just can't walk in and tell what you're going to do and not going to do, all right? Now, Ron, let's slow it down. I like to know who I'm talking to because you're already hostile.
Yeah, so I'm just a Floridan from
From
Florida.
Florida. Now how hard was that?
Yeah, I don't
All
know.
right. Now, what's on your mind?
So yeah, I was listening to you and Paul Allen talk earlier, and it was kind of wholesome. You know, you called him your white supremacist friend.
Yes.
Honestly, I would love to see you two in a space having a chat. It would be cool.
Yeah, but he calls all the time. We chat, and I'm very cordial to the white supremacists because I understand where they're coming from. And I can respect his honesty to a certain degree. You know, sometimes many of you guys deny being white supremacists, but, you know, I understand where you're coming from, and many of you believe um, in the system of white supremacy and the maintenance of it. So I like to start from there. So We ain't just bullshitting each other. Now,
Well, he hosts a space every Thursday. Would you be interested in coming
yeah,
on?
I don't have things on a set schedule. I don't. You see, I'm doing this in the middle of the night, so I can't really set a schedule on when to do any of this stuff. I just when I get a free moment, I go live. Now, Ron, are you one of these people who it's not white supremacy, it's really Jewish supremacy? Are you one of these Jewish conspiracy people?
Oh no, I hate white supremacists. I'm actually Jewish myself.
Oh, okay. Now, how do you feel about Paul sitting here blaming Jewish people all the time?
Well, I think he's just funny. He's pretty good at co-hosting or not but hosting a show. So yeah.
Yes, indeed. Now, let me ask you this. Now, how do you feel about Foundation of Black Americans? We're campaigning very hard to get our reparations that's owed from the United States government. Are you supportive of us getting reparations, sir?
Yeah, of course. As long as blacks and whites are fighting, us Jews will be safe.
Right. Um, but are you in support of the reparations? I didn't ask who's fighting and who's not fighting. Are you in support of the reparations?
Well, yeah, I'm okay with it because then you know, I mean, I don't know. I'm okay with it. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm Jewish.
Okay. Well, you keep saying you're Jewish means that you're just kind of being performative, that you're not really Jewish. Because Jewish people don't just invoke, I'm Jewish. So is this another feeble white supremacist attempt of humor and wit that's kind of falling flat?
No, no, of course not. My first name is David, and my last name is Irving.
Okay. That didn't that didn't hit. That didn't hit. The wit didn't hit. So are you another one of these kind of unwitty trailer park white supremacists? Suspected. Not saying that you are. I don't know if you are or not, sir.
No, I hate white supremacists. They're evil. My grandmother died in the Holocaust.
Was that the name of the trailer park she lived in?
That's a good
That
one,
was a
Tariq.
good one. See, that's wit. Wit. See, that FBA wit is very quick and very unique. That's the secret of wit. You got to be unique. That 4chan shit, it's corny. That's why y'all don't get no pussy. Um, anyway, let me let you go back to your blow up doll. And I bet the blow up doll has a picture of Justin Timberlake on it. But I'm going to let you enjoy yourself, sir. And you have a good night.
Thank
All right.
you.
All right. Boy, these white supremacists. Anyway. Hey, it's been real. Let me get up out of here. Family, listen. Get your Rootwork deodorant. You can get it at rootworkstyle.com or you can go to amazon.com and get the Rootwork deodorant. We got all the scents up there now, so go to amazon.com and get that. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you get it pretty fast. Or again, you can go to rootworkstyle.com. Also, go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com and get the new children's book, Hidden Heroes from A to Z. Very good book. And people keep mentioning the movie Buck Breaking. Get the movie Buck Breaking if you haven't seen it. That's a powerful film. It really ruffled the feathers of a lot of white supremacists. Get the DVD. Own it. And we got it at a discount rate at buckbreakingmovie.com. Buckbreakingmovie.com. Very, very good film. Anyway, y'all, it's been real. Puppy Akute, Lola Vuve to the family. Peace.